So Ken, it's the Senators and the Penguins here tonight, the Canadian Tire Centre. Mike Condon, I don't think he's a surprise starter. I think it's time that Craig Anderson got a break.
Absolutely. I mean, you heard Guy Boucher talk about the back-to-backs against Montreal for Anderson, and then he played again on Tuesday in Boston. So I think it's no big surprise. It is Sidney Crosby and the Penguins, but sooner or later you're going to have to get Condon in there. So it's probably a good spot on the schedule to get him in.
A guy who's on the ice today and looks like he's inching closer to return from what we believe to be his leg injury is Mark Stone. And it sounds like the news is promising there from what he said to you guys in the scrum.
Yeah, he says he's gunning for Saturday. Maybe that's a little bit optimistic, but I think it's a good sign for Senators fans wondering he will be back sooner rather than later. If it's not on Saturday against Montreal, it'll be next week in Philadelphia probably. He will be on that road trip. So it's a sign that he's going to be probably in good shape for the stretch run to the playoffs.
The other thing that you have to look at tonight is the fact that the Senators need this win. They've got 10 games left to book a playoff spot. Right now, if the playoffs started today, they'd face the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, and of course that brings up all the memories of the 4 playoff losses in the Battle of Ontario. It's a little early to get caught up in that. I mean, it's crazy. It's pandemonium in Toronto right now, thinking about Toronto in the playoffs and about a potential series against the Senators. A little early, but of course, that gets the emotions going in this city and in Ontario if there is that kind of a series again.
Last question here. The challenge tonight is to shut down Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Crosby's had some success against Ottawa in the past with 37 points in 34 games.
And that's the part of this game is, what's the motivation for Pittsburgh? They've clinched a playoff spot, but they're fighting to stay to get into first in that Metro division and get a better matchup. Crosby is also bidding for the Art Ross, the Hart, and the Rocket Richard Award, so he's got a lot to play for himself.
Well, so it's the Senators and the Penguins here tonight at the Canadian Tire Centre, 7:30 p.m. start. Ken and I have got you covered. Stay tuned to Post Media's websites for all the details from tonight's game. For Post Media, I'm Bruce Garrioch with Ken Warren.